Hi everyone, in this series I'll be documenting my process of learning leatherwork, things we need to know before we get started. This is my first time ever trying leatherwork. It's not something I've done in the past. I have no experience whatsoever. So if you have any tips or comments, I guess please add them in the comment section. It would greatly be appreciated. And the other thing we have to keep in mind is that in order to keep the project going, I'm going to try to limit the video editing. So if I stutter or if I mix up my words, I'm probably not going to edit it out because it's going to take me a lot of time to edit them, and I think it's going to slow down the process. And same thing with mistakes. I mean, I'm going to try things that might not work. If it doesn't work, I don't think I'm going to edit it out because I think it's unrealistic to showcase learning without any mistakes. So my project is going to be making a leather sheath for this buck knife. I don't really like the look and the utility of this case. It's very sturdy. It looks like it would be practical, but it's very uncomfortable. Where it is on your belt, it's right in the middle, so if you sit, the knife pokes you in the side, and yeah, so it's a good candidate for a first project. My first step in the project is going to be basically drawing a plan. I think that's going to be in the next episode. I'll be drawing it on graph paper, then we'll be transferring it onto this foam material. This should work well for making a mock-up. I can practice stitching on this, make sure that it fits the knife properly, and I think it's going to be a lot easier to make a sheath out of this to begin with, and then transfer that to the actual leather. It's also going to be a lot cheaper if I make mistakes. For the leather, I got a piece of leather. It's very thick. It might be even too thick. It's I'd say close to 1/8 of an inch thick, so about 3 millimeters. It's not in very good shape, but it's kind of a good thing because I don't want to be wasting any good material. You see here somebody drew something on it. It's about 36 inches long, about 10 inches wide, and I think I have enough to make about 2 or 3 tries on this. It's already colored, so I won't have to worry about that. So we'll see how that works. For the tools I'm going to be using, of course I have a ruler. I think I'll be using an X-Acto knife, or I guess in this case it's an Olfa, for the cutting. I'm not sure scissors, well obviously not these ones, these are too small. It's going to be the best call for cutting through the leather. I have a groover here so that I can make the stitching be a little bit more inside the leather, so then it'll be kind of hidden from the elements, so if anything rubs against the leather or the leather sheath, it's not going to wear off the threads. So I'm not really impressed with the quality of this tool, but I think it'll do the trick for a first project. I also have a set of punches. Now, these are neat. There's a little handle, and I have different I guess also have stitching needles. But for the little punches, basically the little forks, so you can pre-measure your holes. I'm hoping this is going to work. I'm not sure it's the best way to do it, but we'll see how it goes. And I also have a compass for maybe possibly tracing the arch at the tip of the sheet, but I don't think it's the right angle, so we're probably not going to use that. Okay. So It's only been 5 minutes, so maybe I'm actually gonna start drawing. So let's put things away. Forgot to show some thread. This is wax thread, so I'm not sure how durable it's going to be. But I like the color. I think it's a nice contrast with the color, the dark brown of the leather. Okay. I think I'm going to start drawing it smaller to show you where my thoughts are going. There. So we have the handle of the knife here. That's the thicker part. And we have the blade. Like this. So I'm thinking the sheath is going to be not all the way to the top, possibly around here. So let's make a line here. And I looked at a few pictures online. My initial thought was going to be to have a doubled section right around here to protect the threads, but I think to start the project and not overthinking it, I'm just going to be like make a single fold, and I'm not going to add anything here to protect the threads. Just to get started somewhere. It might be too complicated to mold the leather around that third thickness of leather here. So the main thing I can see is that whenever I'm going to wrap the leather around it, this here is going to have to be wider to accommodate for the handle. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm probably going to have a single line of stitches here so that there's more room for the handle, and then at the bottom I guess I'll have to redraw this because I didn't really do let's trace it. There, okay. So if I take in consideration the thickness of the handle here, I'm going to keep this the same width, and I'm going to progressively get closer to the blade. Here is going to be the fold on this side, so this is actually going to be a bit closer to the knife. Like this. So let's imagine I have one line that stitches here. This line is going to be all around on the edge. And I think I'm going to stitch it back to get closer to the blade here, so I get a proper fit at the blade level. And then right around the little stopper or knob here, I'm going to get closer to my other stitching line. And I'm not sure here if I'll keep going and make a little loop like this, or if I'm just going to say, well, I'm going to stop here and not stitch it there. I think it'd look better this way. But it might be a bit too complicated for a first project. We'll see how it progresses. Since the sheath is so deep, I don't think I'm going to need a strap to with a snap to make sure it doesn't fall out. Chances of the knife rising up in the sheath and falling up while I'm walking are pretty slim. So if we draw an open version of this, it's going to be something like this. This is the fold. This. Now, here I could probably make it a bit fancier on the front portion. So I don't think it's going to be too hard to cut a curved line, but like this for the front portion. Well, let's scratch off these ones here. Back part will be like this, I think, because I don't want to have any overhang. That's going to be a tearing point. So let's round it like this for the back part. And I'm going to need something to attach it to my belt. I believe if I want to keep it in one piece for simplicity, I'm probably just going to have tab here, like this. I guess this is just going to be a crease here, and this is going to be a crease as well. And here I'll have to find a way to either stitch it to the back of the sheath, so this would fold over and land around here. And then my belt could go through like this. I think it'd be tougher if I have rounded corners here, like a radius, just to limit the tearing off. But I'll have to look into this to make sure it's not too much, or maybe I have to go right into the corner to make sure it folds properly. So I think that's going to be my first attempt. Let's see how we're doing on time. We're at 15 minutes. So in the next episode, we're going to transfer this drawing to scale on the foam to start making a mock-up. And once this is done, we'll probably jump to looking into stitching because I have no idea how that works. So I'd like to thank you for watching. There's my website. I was serious about not editing the videos. You can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. Thanks for watching.